Okay, this video is about my experiment about making a solar oven. Yeah, I've seen a lot of YouTubers making them and successful models and stuff. So I said, well, can I make one with just the materials I have in my RV? Because I'm camping out in a remote area right now. And all I had was cardboard and tin foil and some basic tools, which you typical person's going to have even when you're out in the middle of nowhere. So anyway, I spent about an hour to make this one out of cardboard, and I used the thick 1/8 inch cardboard, something a little heavier duty than your typical box. I've been putting those aside because occasionally I buy like a case of liquor or whatever, and it'll be divided, the 6 liter containers, whatever you're buying, will be separated with real thick cardboard. So I recommend that. And then also I'm using the heavy duty Reynolds wrap. Okay, not the thin stuff. And even this will probably tear on you. And I only did one layer of it. Yeah, I probably should have done 2 layers for it to really last. And basically, I just used tape, simple stuff like tape each side, lined it with the tin foil, the cardboard. The only thing I did have was a big piece of plexiglass, because I had a window that broke on my Jeep, and I had to make a window. So I had an extra sheet of plexiglass. Now, this is a very small unit. It's almost 3 o'clock, and it's running at about 150. So, I mean, it was up to 180 degrees earlier. So there's some successes and there's some failures here. But the failures was I didn't have the black paint. You're supposed to paint the bottom black so it absorbs a lot more heat. So all I have right now is just a piece of cardboard down there. So I knew that, just from watching other YouTubers. And I have no gaskets along the top edge here. So there's all my heat's escaping where the plexiglass is meeting the back of this cardboard piece. Okay, and everything's being held together just with the bungee cord. This whole unit collapses flat too, and it only weighs like 10 ounces. And most of that's just that little sheet of plexiglass, which is very light. But so it's collapsible. Right, like I say, you can always upgrade and make things bigger, and then it's the right size for your 9-inch tin baking pans. So I can get that in there if I want to bake stuff. So after I put maybe a door gasket along this edge on the underside of the plexiglass to seal that from losing all of its heat, which it's doing right now, and paint the bottom black. That will absorb and keep in more heat. But like I say, right now it's at around 150. It was up to 180, and it's in the 60s today. So that's not bad. So that was a success, that part of it. Like I said, get the real quick, start stockpiling a real thick cardboard. That's 1/8 inch. It's very sturdy. I would do, if I did this again, do not only heavy duty, but do 2 layers. So you get no tearing. Eventually you'll have tearing from opening this up. I've got it hinged on the top. All I'm using is a piece of solid wire that works better than your stranded wire. And I just made a hole through the cardboard. I reinforced these hinges with tape, so it'll hold up a little better. So I put a couple layers of tape here, and then made a hole, and I've got solid wire here acting as a hinge, so when you lift it up, take your food out. So I'm experimenting. This is my experiment. Like I say, some successes, some failures, but like I said, I knew I had to paint the bottom black. What you want to use also, I see people just use a regular spray paint. If you want a true oven, it's got to get over 300 degrees. So I would recommend getting like the type of black paint they use, the spray paint stoves, wood stoves and stuff. They can take heats over, I think, 800 degrees. Where I see people on YouTube are just using regular spray paint. And I don't like that whole idea, because the regular spray paint, black paint, when it heats up, it puts off a fume, and it's a very deadly fume, and it could be absorbed into your food. But the special heat paint that's put out doesn't do that. It can withstand temperatures up to 800 and better before you get any fuming effect. So that's one thing I've seen people really lacking in their designs. Now also, I can get much hotter temperatures if the side pieces are angled differently and it's reflecting more sunlight inside the oven. Like I say, I think it would have hit 200 if I got out here earlier today, and that's pretty good considering I had major heat leak up here. And I've just got a simple door gasket or something on the underside here. That'll seal that up. The sides, like I say, everything is being held together with this one little bungee cord. It's holding in both sides. So it's putting enough pressure along the edges where the plexiglass is running. So that's a pretty good seal. I mean, it's not a great seal, but it's, pretty good. Right now, the sun's going down. It's around 3 o'clock. And simple materials. You can make one of these for almost nothing. I think this cost about $5. It was just a plexiglass. I had this cardboard. I had the tin foil. I had the tape, a little Sharpie, to mark the lengths of your pieces. This is about 12-inch square. This oven, it's very small. Razor blade, bungee cord, and Reynolds wrap. And that's it. I look at it, maybe it cost me $5, and it was really all the money. Most of the money is in that little piece of plexiglass I used. And I figured the angle of the back piece here, roughly, I came up with, you figure out what latitude you're at, and like I'm at a 35-degree latitude, and add 45 degrees, or in my instance, so that back piece that reflects the sunlight down in my instance is 80 degrees, is what that should be. So that's like this simple geometry involved. Did a few diagrams. That's what I came up with. So almost 90 degrees down here. I'm down near the Mexican border. But you start getting above a latitude of 45 degrees, things are going to get tougher. You're really going to have to start designing your side pieces, everything, to focus the sunlight inside. You're going to have to get more involved. This was just a 1-hour job, quick and easy. Materials you'll have at hand. Let me see if I have anything else to say. Look at my notes. So, like I said, this is lightweight, and it's all collapsible. It collapses down to flat, completely flat. So it takes up no room. If you're out camping and stuff, room is a lot of things. A lot of solar ovens take up a lot of room, and they cost a lot of money. I mean, hundreds of dollars, some of the ones being sold. So this is a $5 thing that most people could make just from home materials. And I'm sure you could come up with a much better design. This is just something, I just want to do something real quick. Like I say, an hour. I didn't want to calculate all kinds of angles and do all kinds of, special angles for the sunlight to reflect back in and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, it was in the 60s today. It hit about 180 inside. It's down now to about a little lower than 140. And it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I really don't even have this angled properly anymore. You want to always angle this to the sun, too, Like I say, it's just a cheap solar oven. I think it's going to get the much higher temperatures. I know it's going to get much higher temperatures when I paint the bottom black and start sealing up the plexiglass better. Because right now it's all the hot air, and that's actually that's the heat at the bottom of the oven. You know, it's much hotter up on the top. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a rack to put my food on, and so it'll raise the food up towards the top of this. I'll guarantee it's going to be at least 30 or 40 degrees hotter up there. So I'm measuring just at the base right now, and I already hit 180. So at the top, it was probably 225 degrees. Just a simple little thing like, you know, $5 piece of cardboard and tinfoil. So anyway, it's always nice to know you can bake things. Let's just say you run out of fuel to run your stove or your oven, that you can make a very simple device like this called a solar oven. Use the just use the sun. Typically they do take about twice as long to cook things, but you can get baking temperatures with these. So that's about it on this episode. I hope you found some useful tips, and I'm sure you're going to come up with a better design. You know, I didn't even spend any time thinking about this. All I was thinking about was this back piece, the angle, the geometry of what angle should, at my latitude. That was the only thing I was thinking about. The rest of it, you know, is just, you're basically making part of a box. And so anyway, testing out potato right now. And hopefully in another hour or so, I'm going to have baked potatoes. So anyway, this is Eagle Eric signing off.